And now for our final student address. Please welcome the second MDA speaker, again selected by their peers, Alina Salman.
Graduates, faculty, staff, friends and family, hello and welcome to the celebration of a lifetime. I'm Alina Salman from Karachi, Pakistan, and I'm so honored to be addressing you today, even though I know whatever comes after Tavo can never be the best. When I started to think about what I wanted to say to you today, I was a bit concerned. How was I supposed to condense all my thoughts and feelings into a short speech? What is it that I could say about these truly indescribable last 4 years that would do this adventure justice? There were just too many things that I wanted to talk about, and I had so much to say. I was reminded then of one long and warm November night in Buenos Aires. I was living with 3 of my now best friends, Candice, Joanna, and Sana. On the 33rd floor of Bellini Esmeralda. It was junior year, and while capstone and graduation were still faint destinations out on the horizon, things were getting serious. Finals were due in a week, there was not enough time before we had to leave, and we were getting on by a diet of almost exclusively empanadas and café con leches. But my flatmates and I, we had a bigger, much more serious problem. We talked too much. Just our presence in the same room would result in a sizzle and a spark, and a conversation would gush forth, ebbing and flowing across various topics of discussion. For hours and upon hours, we would talk of anything and everything, sometimes very late into the night and sometimes very early into the morning. So that one night in November, the week of final deadlines, we devised a game. We called it the silence game. We set a timer for 2 hours, and we vowed to be quietly focused on our work. We decided that whoever spoke first would lose, and we would start all over again until we finished our finals. Needless to say, not only was the game very silly, it was also very ineffective. About 15 minutes in, Sana started raising her eyebrows, her eyes trying to draw my attention to something on her laptop screen. Soon after, we were pointing at different things, gesturing, miming, laughing uncontrollably. Our nonverbal communications paved way for verbal exclamations, and before I knew it, I had forsaken the machine learning model I was trying to fine-tune, and we were all deeply engrossed in yet another discussion. We all lost the silence game that night. My roommate, Candice, would later recall that semester as one endless conversation. Now, you could say that we were just a talkative bunch, and you wouldn't be very wrong. Literally, the only thing I would get in trouble for at school was talking too much. But if I really think about it, these 4 years at Minerva have actually been one endless conversation for us. And the real reason behind this is that when the class of 2025 came together back in first year, there was a spark. And from that spark, there were a series of endless conversations flowing. This series of endless conversations, which started in September 2021, were between all of us. People from entirely different worlds who had never spoken to each other before, but came together and soon learned the cadences of each other's voice, recognized the emotions that lived between the words, and grew to transcend the need to translate words that could ever only be understood in our native languages. We learned our 8 C's and debated on how best to use them. We scrutinized research methods and critiqued survey design everywhere we went. We argued over algorithmic biases in the kitchen and then discussed recipes from home at the dining table. We tried to fit our opinions and concerns in 600 characters and quick sound bites on forum. Armed with just Google Translate and guided by curiosity, we talked to anyone and everyone who crossed our path, from talking about generational trauma with restaurant owners in Seoul, to dissecting urban planning and equity with mayors of Taipei and Bristol, from redefining the American dream with our neighbors in Tenderloin, to joining protests against wars and genocide in every city we went. These conversations kept us sane in the face of visa uncertainties, grounded when the floor shook beneath our feet, quite literally in Taipei and then metaphorically in Berlin, and calm when life moved too fast. There wasn't a conversation M25s hesitated from being a part of. You might say that we are just a talkative class, that we just had a lot to say, but I think there's something deeper. I think we were courageous. Because you see, to speak in one's own authentic voice is an act of wild courage. And we, the class of 2025, were not only courageous in our achievements, our moves across continents, we were also courageous in the simple, radical act of keeping the conversation alive. As we navigated years that bore witness to wildfires, the pandemic, the bombs dropping over cities, unsure how we could help, we turned to each other. We managed to have conversations that were very difficult to have. They challenged our worldview, brought us face to face with our prejudices, and forced us to acknowledge the things we hid even from ourselves. Often, these conversations were messy and too tangled and left us feeling confused and even frustrated. Sometimes we spoke when we shouldn't have, and sometimes we stayed silent when we should have said something. But we kept showing up. We kept talking, kept blowing up the group chat. I know these conversations will follow us quietly across years and cities. These are the conversations that will stretch across geographies and time zones between people who might have not yet spoken in years, but still carry each other's cadences. Somewhere between detangling numerous ethical dilemmas in class and unraveling the mystery of broken elevator in the residence hall, you all taught me that to be part of something bigger than yourself is to really tell your side of the collective story, to participate in dialogue, to risk the discomfort of disagreement, to not shy away from conversations no matter how daunting, and to trust others to listen. Today, as we gather to mark an ending, I want us to honor not only these conversations, but also the people around us who empowered us to have a voice, the ones who shaped us, challenged us, and stayed with us. To my mother, who is watching all the way from Pakistan, and to all our friends and family present here today, thank you for teaching us the first and most radical act, to speak, to wield our voice not as a weapon, but as a bridge, and just as fiercely, you taught us how to listen. To my fellow M25s, thank you for every single conversation, every argument, every debate, and every playful banter. My flatmates from Buenos Aires, Candace, Sana, and Joanna, and to everyone else graduating with me today, let's promise to never play the silence game again, because some conversations truly should never end. Thank you.